The following Best of Central Florida program is sponsored in part by First Light Homecare, Voyage Retirement Solutions, TransMedCare, Dime Medical Artistry, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
Welcome to the Best of Central Florida. I am Justin Clark. I will never forget. The year was 2002. I was in law school in Boston, hanging out at the Beantown pub to be exact. A classmate comes over, introduces himself. He said he was from Orlando. I was shocked. I thought Orlando was theme parks, chain restaurants, maybe a water park or two. Who would have thought that now, 20 years later, I would have lived here for 15 of them? Who would have thought I would raise my two little girls in Central Florida? Who would have thought I would fall in love with Central Florida? It's a hidden gem, great restaurants, professional sports teams, a booming art scene, the Makaila River, the beaches, and yes, even the theme parks. From Mims to Micanopy, Celebration to Citra, this is the best of Central Florida. A very important show lined up for you today. Allow me to welcome in the beautiful Makaila Nichols. Hello, Makaila. How are you?
Great.
I saw you go through your grandparents getting a little bit older. I went through it with my father before he passed away. And we have a lot of senior citizens here in Central Florida. What better way to celebrate the people that help our loved ones, our senior citizens, in doing a show exclusively about best retirement? I love it.
I do too. So informative, honestly.
It's going to be a great show. 3 very different types of businesses that are designed literally just to take care of whether it's your mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, the people that you love in some of the most challenging times of their life, which can be the retirement time.
Most certainly.
Are you ready to go?
I am.
So when we return, we're going to talk about financial advice for retirees, transporting them over state lines, and many more things to talk about.
All the things.
All right, let's do it. Quick break. When we return, best retirement in Central Florida.
The following Best of Central Florida Makaila's Choice is sponsored in part by First Light Homecare and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
When people think of Florida, they usually think of the snowbirds coming down and retiring. So Makaila's choice for best retirement is my dear friend Amy Deek. She started a company called First Light Homecare. Amy, happy to have you on.
Thank you for letting me be here. It's always a wonderful opportunity to talk about First Light Homecare and what we do for those retirees and seniors, or actually anyone over 18 who lives here in Florida.
I love that. So when people think home care, it literally is home care.
That's right. But a lot of people don't know what that means. What is home care? First Light Home Care is actually a franchise, and I chose to buy into a franchise because the majority of people didn't grow up here. Mm-hmm. Seniors who live here come from all over the country. And so the majority of the time when somebody is calling me for questions about what is home care, it's not the senior, and it's sometimes not the wife, it's the adult son or daughter, and they live in Boston, or they live in Arizona, or they live in Ohio. So when I chose to buy a franchise that's nationally recognized, what that did is that provided them that comfort that they could Google First Light Home Care and most likely find one that's pretty close to their hometown.
And when they speak to you, I mean, they're putting so much trust in you and your services. How do those phone calls go?
You know, a lot of times it's a lot of listening. By the time somebody calls me about home care, their shoulders are kind of up into their earlobes. It's a very stressful time. Someone's not calling us for home care because everything's good. Most of the time, what will happen is someone moves down here, and very shortly after that, maybe a stroke, a heart attack, something that causes it. So now that husband and wife that moved down here to come to sunny Florida to play golf and to live their golden years, now they're faced with how are we going to live in our house because our family are 1,000 miles away. So when they call, usually I just have to say, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. And I listen to the story of how they got to where they're at so that we can talk about how we might be able to meet their needs and help support them at home. Instead of having to go to a facility or having to go back home, how do we help support you? Or with that adult child, how do we make it so that you can go back home? My journey actually to buying this franchise actually started because my mother-in-law had a fall, a life-changing fall. She's a retired nurse. She was playing golf every day. They were going out to eat and traveling, and she had a fall that took away all of that independence. So we were that family about 4 years ago where we were raising our kids, working full time, and we had a mother who needed our help. And then when COVID shut down the country in March 2020, that's when I actually bought my franchise. Because at that moment, I realized that all of the adult children who could come to help their moms and dads were no longer allowed to travel. And that meant there were a lot of seniors in this area and a lot of companies that were just underwater.
Well, you have such a big heart. I mean, your line of work it literally was bringing tears to my eyes earlier because I think it's such an incredible thing that you do to make people feel comfortable in their own homes, especially, I mean, I wouldn't want to be necessarily in like a place or what have you, knowing that you go into their homes and take care of them. Tell us a little bit more about those services.
Sure. So if you think about your home, that's your sanctuary. That's the place where you're the most vulnerable. Going and caring to somebody in a facility or meeting them in the hospital, but when you go home, that's a very vulnerable place. So what we do is we talk a lot about the caregivers that we hire, and I have this plaque here because we hire caregivers who have a heart for home care. Home care is not for everybody. Health care is not for everybody. So when we hire our caregivers, they have to have a passion for helping people. This is not a glamorous job, so I have to understand why it is that they do what they do. When we hire those caregivers, they're heavily vetted. They have level 2 background screenings. They are not only home health aides or certified nurse assistants, but the biggest thing is when we meet a client and we have a caregiver, we match them with their skill set, but also with their personality. Again, someone's coming in my home for 4 hours, what am I gonna do with them for 4 hours type of thing. We are a relationship building company. It's a privilege and an honor to be able to go into somebody's home, so we teach our caregivers to do that. So some of the services we provide are assistance with activities of daily living, help with bathing. Imagine you had knee surgery and you went home. Getting in and out of the shower would be challenging. Helping you get dressed, because that would be challenging. Maybe helping prepare food because I'm on crutches or I have a walker and I can't stand at the stove anymore and carry my plate to the table. We also help with what's called IADLs, which are things like light housekeeping, laundry, all of the things that a daughter or a son going to the house would do. Those are the things that we will help with so that they can go and have a break.
Well, you're really just kind of the angel in someone's life.
Right.
So, Amy, thank you so much for the work you do. And if you need Amy's services, do yourself a favor and reach out to First Light Home Care. And we'll be right back after this short break with People's Choice.
The following Best of Central Florida Justin's Choice is sponsored in part by Voyage Retirement Solutions and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
You have spoken, the people have spoken. People's choice for best retirement today goes to our great friends at Voyage Retirement Solutions. Daniel Ray is here. Daniel, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Yeah, I guess financial planning is important at any stage of your life, but I can't think of a more important stage than when you're heading into retirement or when you're retired, because there's this weird valve that goes totally kaput whenever you retire. You're used to having money coming in from your job, now it's not coming in anymore. How do we strategize for this time in our life?
That's funny. I always tell people, just think about the day after you have that retirement party. You know, when you wake up and you're so used to getting income from all these different sources,
Right.
and now you're like your own personal CFO. You control when the money's coming in, how much you're taking out. So, what we encourage everyone to do is to have a real clean and solid written plan in place that outlines where their money's coming from, how long it will be coming to them. Will it last the rest of their lives, or are they going to outpace their income? So proper planning is always suggested.
What age do I need to come in and talk to you? Is there a certain age? Is 20 too young? Is 50 too old? What age do I come in and really sit down and strategize with you on how I can retire and not run out of money?
I always say the best time to start doing something is when you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about it right now, you should be coming in to get a plan in place, but really the sooner the better. We always talk about the compound effect. You know, if you took $1 and doubled $1 every day for 20 days, at the end of 20 days, or 20 times, you'd have $1,048,506 approximately. Now, there's no investment that's actually going to do that for you, so that just shows you the power of compounding interest, right? It's $1, $2, $4, $8, and so on and so forth. But it shows how little increments of growth over a period of time could have staggering results, right? So the time before it was $1 million, it was about 500,000. So start early, let compounding interest work for you, and you know, it saves you from doing a lot of the heavy lifting down the road. But even if you haven't done that, the time to start is now.
Clearly a weird economy right now. It was crazy because during the pandemic, everything went great. Everyone became an instant stock expert too, if you noticed that too. Like whether it was Robinhood or whatever, it seemed like everyone was giving you financial advice. And I don't know how that happened, I don't know why it happened, but now I think people are a little bit scared of some volatility, maybe scared of some recession. What can I do now to make sure I don't lose all my money?
Well, the first thing I got to tell you to do is stay calm. Right? It's interesting. I heard this recently. You know, economists and meteorologists are the only ones that can get their predictions wrong all the time and still keep their job, right? So, you know, as far as listening to the headlines, you know, you want to be careful about being too reactive. Being proactive is the very best thing that you can do. But volatility is here, and it might be around for a while. Right, so I mentioned the plan earlier. Having a solid plan in place allows you to anticipate or at least see what life would look like in the event that things were, the markets go one way or the other. Another thing that we like to say is everyone has a crystal ball, just no one has one that actually works. But really, assess a few different action items, or there are a few different action items to assess. One of the pieces that we were just speaking about recently was, will a recession rob you of your retirement? And it allows you to evaluate some of the key important factors, your income, how your income is potentially impacted by recessions or volatility, your assets, well, there's a few other items in there right now.
Sure.
If anyone's watching this right now that decides to get their own copy of that, they'll be able to assess all those different action items.
Or come see you directly, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you enjoy sitting down with people and really going through this. You're the expert in this. I mean, what is that first strategy session like with you?
Well, you know, I always liken it to designing a home, right? If you want to design your dream home, it starts with a conversation, right? Okay, this is what I have, this is what I want to accomplish, but what can be done? So what we do is, you know, the first step is just a brief phone call. It doesn't have to be a lot. Right? It could be a 15-minute conversation that we have to assess where you are versus where you want to be. And then from there, we start gathering some information, right? What's the material that we're working with? What do your assets look like? What does the income look like? What do your liabilities look like? I mean, your debt determines a lot of your retirement just as much as your income does.
Absolutely.
So start with that conversation and then see what we can develop from there. And you know, as that conversation goes along, you start seeing the rough design of what that, you know, potential fiscal home will look like. And then as we work on customizing it, you get more of a clearer picture as time goes along. So start now with the conversation and then take it to the planning stages.
Daniel, great job. Great to meet
you.
you.
So much.
You got it. Do yourself a favor. Tax strategies, estate planning, wealth planning, Voyage Retirement Solutions, they are perfect. They do such a great job over there. Quick break. Justin's Choice is up next.
The following Best of Central Florida Justin's Choice is sponsored in part by TransMedCare, Dime Medical Artistry, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
Finally, it's time for my favorite portion of the program. It's time for Justin's Choice. And Justin's Choice today, a no-brainer for me. Justin's Choice for Best Retirement goes to our good friends over at TransMedCare. Happy to be joined by Andrew Brainerd. Andrew, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you doing?
I love what you guys are doing over there, and it's something that you don't think about a lot. You are really transporting people in need around, but what you guys do state to state is a little bit different.
Yes. 80% of the industry is made up of local transportations. You know, grandmother or mother goes to a nursing home or hospital for rehab, and they got to get from point A to point B, usually 5 minutes. You know, they got to go to dialysis or something. That's what you typically think about for non-emergency transportation. But what we've found is that there was a market for transporting people from state to state, getting them relocated after they've gotten to a certain point in their life where they need to be maybe be closer to family members and live with them to be taken care of, or in a nursing home. And a lot of times that can't be done by a family member transporting them because there's medical needs. Maybe you know, your loved one needs briefs changed, medications monitored, vitals monitored, things of that nature. So what we do is we send a 3-person crew in a ProMaster van. You know, that's the best vans that we found to use, which allows for us to have a 3-person crew, 2 drivers and a medical, and then a family member can ride with. And the vans are designed to allow up to 2 family members to ride with, which is very uncommon for the industry. We do have entertainment on board, Wi-Fi, TV. You can watch Netflix. You can sign into your own accounts and just keep on watching TV as if you never left home during the trip. Meals and drinks are paid for throughout the trip. We really just try to make it all-inclusive and make you feel comfortable the entire time.
You know, unfortunately, we've all had grandparents or parents, and we've watched them get older, and it is a little bit sad sometimes when you see them at the airport going through security with oxygen tanks or whatever, and then getting on that airplane with all these other people. That's a sad way to travel at some point in your life. This absolutely circumvents all of that.
Yeah, you get the privacy. You know, our blinds come down, our vans are not marked, so it's very, very exclusive. It's almost like a limousine service that we're providing with unmarked, so it doesn't look like you're traveling in an ambulance, or, you know, the company's advertising's blasted all over it so people see that you're in a transport vehicle. We want to make it as secure, safe, and as confidential as possible for our people who travel with us.
How did you get into this business?
I've been doing it for 15 years.
Really?
Yeah, I helped build some local companies in the area. Just found that I, you know, had the juice to make it on my own, so I finally just did. I actually got my first van on my birthday.
Is that right?
2015, I got approved for a van. I put it all on credit cards, and, you know, just a dream, and made it work. You know, now we have 9 vans.
And I know you're always looking for talented staff, because you really care about your staff, your employees, because we are taking care of our loved ones, so to speak. You're looking for people now?
Always. Always looking for CNAs and drivers. You don't have to have a CNL, because the way the state law works is just a Class C license is all that's required. So just a regular driver's license in the state of Florida. If you want to submit your resume, careers@trans-medcare.com, or you could always call our main line, which is 888-984-3722. And then you'll be able to talk to someone there about employment, which we hire contractors for this type of work. And you get to see the country. You know, as a driver, meals and drinks are paid for.
Yeah.
The hotels, flights, everything's paid for, and you get paid. So a lot of people that are transitioning out of working every day and wanting to travel and see the world, they see this as a great opportunity to see the country and get paid to do it.
Not a bad way to make a living, and you're taking care of older people who are probably going through a little bit of a rough time in their lives. You get to really enjoy that experience of changing their lives as well.
Yeah, and for the comfort aspect of it, because of the way we design it, we put a little extra weight in the vans, because as you might not know, the cargo vans are designed for packages.
Sure.
Their best ride comes with weight, and you don't get that weight when you put a couple people in the vehicles. So what we've done is we've added additional plywood in the back that creates that weight we need to give the most comfortable ride, because we all know how the roads can be in some states. So we try to provide the best ride. We equip it the most comfortable possible. We go above and beyond what a lot of companies do in the industry.
Who normally makes the call to you? Who's calling you, scheduling this ride?
A lot of times it's family, and they find us by just Googling it.
Yeah.
And we hear often, we didn't know this even existed until we just Googled it. And it's long distance medical transportation is how most people Google it.
Right.
We deal with case managers, nursing homes, hospitals, trying to get the patients or family members from a hospital or nursing home to another state. And we're happy to provide that service from bedside to bedside, which is what we do.
Keep up the good work, buddy. TransMedCare, Andrew, awesome thing you guys are doing. And
course.
quite honestly, I did not know about this until recently. And I saw something on you and I was like, that is an incredible experience. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Makaila, I think that was a great show today. You know, I feel more comfortable that if I'm ever in need or a family's in need, that we have some great places to turn to here in Central Florida.
We definitely do. Great people.
Thank you so much, as always. Thank you for joining us, as always. Do me a favor, hit record series now. Special thanks to our WKMG-based crew, our executive producer, Tyson Fiore, and the whole team here. What a great show. We'll see you next week for more Best of Central Florida.
The Best of Central Florida is sponsored in part by Dime Medical Artistry.
Here in Central Florida, it is summer all the time, and I am joined by a great friend of mine, Dr. Daniel Felling. He's the founder and owner of Dime Medical Artistry. Doctor, your background is so impressive. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm a critical care trained trauma surgeon. I've been in practice for about 3 years. From the cold north and migrated down this way for obvious reasons. But then throughout my surgical training, I developed an interest in aesthetics as well. And so I have had a goal for many years now to do what I'm doing with the spa and opening and offer a variety of procedures. And it's been a great time. We've been open for about a year. Yeah.
And you do pretty much everything under the sun over at Dime.
We do, yeah. We do a variety of things. So our goal is to be your one-stop med spa. So we do a combination of the toxins with Botox and Xeomin. We do dermal fillers. We do threads, smooth threads, and lifting threads. And then a variety of esthetician services with my esthetician we have. We do painless laser hair removal, radiofrequency microneedling. We do body contouring. We do. We're excited to offer our M-Sculpt Neo, which is a way to sort of hit the gym without hitting the gym. You've probably seen some of those clips of stimulating the muscles. It's like doing 30,000 crunches in 30 minutes without having to go to the gym. And then you also get some tightening of the overlying tissue as well. And then we have also started a couple more kind of technical procedures that are in line with my training. So the more surgical type things with the laser liposuction and then also a neck lift procedure.
Well, doctor, thank you so much for being on. And do yourself a favor, since it is summer here all the time, go visit my dear friends at Dime Medical Artistry.
The preceding Best of Central Florida program was sponsored in part by First Light Homecare, Voyage Retirement Solutions, TransMedCare, Dime Medical Artistry, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.